Hello, friend, and welcome back. This is a center that is near and dear to my quote unquote heart. The G Center, the identity and direction function. This is really about selling identity and direction, helping people move into the correctness of self. So, again, I'm going to review this. If you need to fast forward a bit, if you've heard me say this before, feel free. But in every single one of these, I want to remind you that the goal is, in all of this, is to attract money in the correct way. We want to attract money through satisfaction and responding. We want to attract money through the success, which is the recognition and the invitation. We want to attract money through peace, which is about informing. And we want to attract money through awe, which is waiting for the right initiation into an environment. This has to be the focus, because if money becomes the focus, there is no amount of money that will ever bring these feelings. It has to start with alignment to your design. And then the attraction process happens. Making more money will never be satisfying. Being satisfied while making money is a totally different story. Here you're going to just learn how you naturally sell, and you could also see how you are sold as well. So the openness is the doorway. I've discussed that in the foundation aspect of it. Excuse me. The doorway is this. This is how people get in to the design, is through the openness. And this is actually how you go out. So this is where you go to get your wisdom. And that wisdom is how you're sold. You buy things, you experience life, you walk through different patterns, you shed your uniqueness. And when you do that, what you then eventually do is you sell all of the wisdom that you have gained in all of those experiences. So the material world is a third line process. It's the heart of what it is to make money and be materially successful. The third line is that trial and error process. It embraces failure. It adapts. It pivots. It's innovative. It's creative. This is the line of the martyr and the anarchist, breaking down the old to make way for the new innovations. So, in your body graph, if you have a hanging 18, like I do, off of the splenic center, and it isn't in the third line, that's okay. You're still selling the third line application, because the third line application is the material plane. So while we walk through here, we talk about the third line, because the third line is this foundational understanding on the material plane. And why do I keep showing this capitalism? Well, capitalism is changing. This is not about stepping on anybody's head to get to the top. This is about the intrinsic value that you hold is what people want from you. And then you get to sell them all of that wisdom. This is really, we're moving into that entrepreneurial energy that's coming in 2027. This is selling and marketing your full design, the wisdom and the delivery system. So the G Center, just as a review, you guys have seen this, you guys have walked through this. So the home of the magnetic monopole, our trajectory is guided by the monopole. The vessel of love and the Sphinx crosses provide the love and the direction for this center. We are on this trajectory, this sacred geometry. That's why we have this design crystal and personality crystal. We're along this fractal. You know, imagine just taking a rock or a crystal, taking a hammer and smashing it. There's all these facets that come out, all of these different fractals that happen. You're designed to align to your design so that that fractal, whether it be a large fractal or a small fractal, is then able to come together and bring the wisdom that needs to be brought out through that fractal. So the monopole gives our illusion that we are separate from others. This allows for the binary of the this and the that to emerge and the expansion of consciousness to take place through our experience. Love and direction are big sellers in humanity. Can you find your purpose? Will I be loved? Will I find the love of my life? As the neutrino ocean cascades through our experience, trust that love is the breath of the stars and the direction is housed in your cellular structure. To be a nine-centered being, it is to have an identity that is fundamentally dualistic. The recognition that there is a consciousness that operates within us. This is actually, a recognition that there is a consciousness that operates within us that is actually there to take care of most of the things we have labored with unsuccessfully all our lives at the mental level. It is not about a mental concept. It is a consciousness that rules the vehicle's mechanism. The moment you turn over decision-making to your body, you begin to realize its intelligence because it really is intelligent. So important for us to notice that we are love because we are the breath of the stars. Love is inside of us. The direction is inside of us. When we can surrender to the design and allow for the quantum physics of our reality to collapse in front of us, that, my friends, is perfection. That is just allowing for the love and the direction to guide the life. So I want to remind you here again, understanding how important the G Center is, because what the G Center does, this provides us with the locks, how we are locked into this illusion. And then for every 400, I believe it's 412, 416, I can never remember that number, but it's 400 and a little bit of years, we change the keys. So where we are moving to, and this is something that I provided to you in the introductory, what we're moving to is this individual energy. So the system itself, right now, this cross-up planning, it's breaking down, not because there's something wrong with the system. Its time is coming to an end. It just is. So that cross-up planning that had us turn over our decision-making, had us take our autonomy and put it into the hands of government and institutions, that time is breaking down. These right now, my friend, we're in 2020 as I'm speaking to you, these are unusual times. We get to live on the cusp of a great change in the way in which the world works. And at any time in history of humanity that you come to these cusp points, there are all kinds of disarray that arises all around us. It's a change. There's a deep and profound mutative force that is at work on this plane. So let's leave the blame game behind and let's enter into what is the only thing that will allow us to survive in the next cycle. The honoring of individual authority. Follow your strategy. Operate correctly within yourself and you will live as you should in this life. That's the point. There is no one you can depend on. There is no one you can rely on, and truly, there is no one you can trust but yourself. And when you're correct and you're operating correctly, that trust in yourself is your armor for this life. It will protect you. It will guide you because it is precisely what you are here for. And we are the ones, our generation, who stand at the edge of this precipice. We are the ones that are here to demonstrate the correctness of the way so that we can enter into this new age that us, our children, that those beings that we have contact with can enter into this new cycle properly equipped. That is Ra'uruhu. Here are the cusps. So every 400 and some years, somebody can add that up if they'd like, the cross of planning, the cross of the Maya, that's where we are right now. And we're on this cusp, 2026 to 2027. The cross of the sleeping phoenix and the cross of penetration. Those keys that are happening. That brand new ambition in the 54 that's starting off this whole new capitalism cycle. That intuitive clarity, deep, deep, deep individual connection with source. Those brand new beginnings. This is the emergence of something very, very profound and yummy. And that shocking initiation into our awakening. That spirit consciousness that can permeate and penetrate within us. Achieving union as a group, as a larger consciousness field. That individual power and that contemplation which brings in charisma. Bringing this charismatic power and contemplation in the now to your work, to what you're selling, to your life. That's where we are heading. There is nothing more beautiful than speaking about this. And my guess is that you and I have been on many of these cusps. And at some point in time, you may have been my ruler. At some point in time, you may have been whatever it is. But here we are on this cusp, moving us from an institutional-based control system to an individual autonomy. Okay, so now let's look at the G Center. If it is defined, and it isn't operating correctly because the mind is making decisions, you experience a sense of loss in your life that you have given up on yourself. You expect others to go where you're going and get upset when they don't. You try to direct or lead others without waiting to be asked and invited and encounter resistance. So you reject your own direction and succumb to the expectations imposed on you by others. But naturally, when it is defined, you're comfortable with your own identity, your own self-love, your own direction in your life. You have a sense of your own correct mission in life. The capacity to confront people who are concerned about the direction for your business, company, or even humanity. Love others without becoming dependent on them, and natural at pointing out directions for others. If it's undefined, if it isn't working healthy, if the mind is trying to run the show, there's confusion here. Confused about your role, always looking for purpose, never certain, You feel unloved. You feel like you're adrift. The wisdom here, and if this is completely undefined or undefined, the wisdom, recognize authenticity. And that wisdom, those experiences with others, you know you are very sensitive to your environment. So you don't like the location, leave or move. You recognize that when you're in that place that feels good and feels right, everything is right. And you can accept that your identity is not fixed and it varies from day to day. You can recognize what's truly of value, and you're able to mirror others by helping them, listening to them, taking in their identity, and then providing clarity back to them. You may have many different roles in your life. Well, let me tell you, as somebody who has it completely open, many different roles is my whole life. When it's completely open, you don't know what to be, or you don't know what what your life is about. And there's always this, oh, should I go do this? Should I go do that? And giving your authority over others because you're hoping that there's purpose there. Well, for me, this is what I have completely learned about the wisdom of this identity center. Authenticity. Authenticity is so big for me. I sense it. I'm with somebody and I can completely sense their authenticity of self. So as a quick compilation, what we're selling here, remember, we are selling love and direction. The 7, the 1, the 13, and the 2, those are direction. That's the Sphinx, providing us with a direction. The vision of the 2 either moves up into the 7 for the future, or moves up into the 13 to look at the past, or moves straight up into the 1 to be that creative, unique being in the now. So there are 3 different directions that this vision touches. And then on the love side, we have the 25, the 46, the 15, and the 10. This is the vessel of love. That universal love, that body love, that love of humanity, and that self-love. We've talked about all of these in great depth, especially the 10. We've gone over it a lot in the love and in the caring aspect module as well. So again, we're selling love and we're selling direction. The area of our identity. This is higher self. This is love. This is direction. This becomes the focal point for small groups, that penta, because it runs right through the identity center. All forms have this one function. All forms. So what holds us together as humanity and connects us to the world and our environment? It is the identity and direction center. How are we going to make money? The 10th gate, you guys have been there, you've seen, this is a rule gate. So the martyr piece of this third line martyr, this is always going to be that enduring example. You have to set the example and stand up for it. This is selling proper behavior. This is selling self-care. It's complex. Remember, the 10 goes to convictions, higher principles, and perfected form. So it's bringing in information from 3 different areas. So if you have an undefined identity and direction and a hanging 10th gate, this is how you can make money. For me, I have the 20 and I have the 10 in a complete, or I have the 20 and the 34, in a completely open identity and direction. 10 is a place where I could make money. So the behavior psychology of the material way. The right behavior ensures successful behavior. So you have You have to set an example. Stand up for that example. You're the martyr. Sorry, you're selling the martyr. You're selling this. This is what you are. You aren't it. Sorry. My apologies. So you are selling that martyr behavior. That enduring example that will be enshrined. So perfecting, finishing school, perfecting people's behavior. How are you expected to behave in your workplace, in that environment? That's really important for people. So maybe you walk into a place of business and you can sense that people really don't know how they're expected to behave. And there's, others that have inappropriate behavior. That's your role in this lifetime. If you have this hanging off an identity and direction off the G Center, you get to teach people that. You get to sell people proper behavior. Tribes are really good at this. Even though this isn't a part of the tribal energy, tribes are really good at setting behavioral expectations. They're very good at it. So the manager has to be sold on how treating its team with dignity so that you get what you need from your staff. So a manager who walks in and is belittling and not, for lack of a better word, being kind to their people, you can guarantee that the behavior of those people are not going to align with that company's or that manager's direction. How do you treat people? Proper behavior. What are those, training people in trauma? How do you need to behave when you're in a trauma situation and assisting others? That's really what therapists do. So that salesperson, teaching salespeople how to behave. How do you approach your client? Right now, police and emergency response, how to act, what to do in different situations. These are all places to make money. Teach people how to behave. The 15, this diversity extremes. This is selling ego inflation. And it's like, this has nothing to do with the ego. But a product is only going to be attractive as long as you can keep on getting attention to that product. So you keep on inflating it. But at some point, it becomes old hat. That fifth gate that's on the other end establishes a pattern and the structure. And the 15th gate gives it its diverse frequencies. So the way we get all of humanity to share the same values, we have to get them to homogenize battle with the same product. This is where major brands homogenize the collective. If you use this product, you are someone. So this is using endorsements. This is that brand creation. This is marketing, repackaging, repurposing, stock market projections. This inflation that happens. We want to be able to inflate people's egos And that diverse ego, and if you all come in, this is a collective. So if we have all walks of life come in, you get to become something by being with us in our brand. Nike, Adidas, they do that really well. They do that really well. They inflate the egos of those using it. Oh, you'll be just like Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky or whatever it is. So determination of self, the 46. This is projection. So this is the love of the body. The most important thing is health. Not just about health, but this is really about adornment. People want to have tattoos and silk on their skin. This is good fortune and it's luck. The 46 is the serendipity. So this is the actual vessel. This is the body. It's meant to be adorned. It's meant to be loved. It's meant to be embraced. So your hairstyle, how you take care of yourself, how you treat your body. So be in the experience. This is the whole experiential way. Accept with grace in good fortune. So the luck, everywhere you stop looking for it. It's everywhere. So it's in you. It's in the correct environment. It's in the serendipity of being in that environment. And you get to teach people this, how to take care of yourself. If you're in a really, really, really mentally draining job, if you're in a really mentally draining relationship, that takes a toll on your body. So how are you taking care of your body? What environment are you in? The practical approach to good fortune that maintains the same patterns and attitudes that brought success and does not get sidetracked by indulging in further expectations. What brings you success? What doesn't? The determination to treat a projected success as reality. So be in the experience. Really comprehend that people, here's what takes place, right? I see somebody with a whole bunch of tattoos, and immediately there is a projection onto them. I don't have any tattoos. It's not a part of who I am. That's not how I present myself. I have a few, I have my ears pierced. That's it. I wear the exact same 3 rings on my fingers and the exact 4 earrings in my ears, and that's what I do, because I'm very conservative. But others are not that. And we do have a projection. We see someone who, let's just say they are overweight. There's a projection there. Humanity has a projection. Oh, they're lazy. Oh, they don't eat properly. Oh, this, oh, that. Or we see somebody who's really, thin and they look like they take care of their body. Oh, they're healthy. They are the epitome of health. And it can be completely opposite. That being that's overweight might be the healthiest. Maybe they have the best cholesterol levels and the best blood pressure. They put in their body the exact correct food. And that's how they're designed. And then the skinny person that we think is the epitome of health and wellness has cholesterol levels out of whack. They maybe they have arthritis. Who knows, right? But these are the kind of things that's what that projection does. So selling body care. How do you feel serendipitous in your world? For me, It is all about the environment. I have a totally open G Center. I could make money here selling body care because my 29, the 29 on the other side of this is pointing up to this. Selling nutrition, selling dance, physical therapy, healing. And I guess in a roundabout way, that's what human design really is doing for us, is teaching us when we're correct and we're aligned, the physical body and the repairing that happens at the cellular level is beauty, is love. The 25, this is sensibility. So selling initiation. Recognizing someone is not in their value until they are in their 50s. Ross says this. Understand that our flowering really doesn't happen until we're in our 50s. We are Uranian beings. We move from Saturnian beings that had a 30-year lifespan to Uranian beings that have an 84-year lifespan. And know that everything you do is of value as you grow, and your value is recognized the older that you get. Enter into experiences, and maybe it ends up being wrong, but the synthesis for the life is there. This is about sensibility, the recognition that innocent action does not in itself guarantee success. Initiation is that nature of initiation. Here's your chance. Me to you. Not for everyone. That initiation that you provide, it's not for everyone. The mutation is nothing more than a shockwave that may or may not take hold. So that Satori moment, that transcendent mutation, the shockwave may not take hold. Like Ra gives a reading, yet the shockwave may not take hold. It's not really mutative until the correct timing and the cellular structure could absorb it, and the sensibility of what is the right initiation. Well, somebody is going to bump into you. They're going to come to you. Use your strategy. Use your authority. How can you sell an initiation into something new? People come to you because they have a problem. What is the sensible way to initiate them into whatever the solution is? Human design. New inventions. New ways of doing things. Initiation rituals. Here's your problem. You're disconnected. You're not connected to your higher source. Let's initiate you to get you to your higher source. The initiation of new inventions. Like, whoa, that's what's been going on for 400 years. Like, we have had the Industrial Revolution like crazy. I've been on this planet for 45 years. And holy schmoly, in 45 years, we went from, I grew up with no running water until I was seven years old. We hauled our water in 5-gallon pails to our home. So new inventions that initiated us and will continue to initiate us. Computers, phones, bullet trains. Of course, initiation feels like it's moving us along really fast. But what initiation is sensible for the problem that you're solving? Then the 2, this is, I provided this look of, again, of the hexagram because I think it's really important in the 2. This is about selling a secure direction. The driver is focused on our movement in time through space. The driver sits in the monopole. So the magnetic monopole is that direction in life. The wealth of the 14th gate and the introduction of the new, how to bring it out. It is how the direction goes. Needs to be secure, and we need to be patient. The teacher that never stops being the student. We don't know what our... We do know. We once you go through your design, you'll have a really, really good grasp of it. However, dropping into your own frequency and surrendering to that is about patience, and then this dedication to a lifetime of receptivity with the maturity to accept that the process never ends. So our higher knowing is just patient. But what happens is the mind gets in the way, and the mind doesn't want to be patient. The mind wants and demands that we express our direction today. Our direction is designed to unfold as we move through the first 50 years of our lives. You will be rewarded for your services rendered. Direction is a learning process and a refinement. You are selling people a vision and a secure way to move forward, where to take the new, how to introduce the new, how to bring the new out. The strategy of how you bring something out, how to move it, how you move it, what direction you give it, and how you pull people into this direction. If mutation is properly nourished, if it is properly directed, then it is going to be able to have its mutative impact. Career coaching, sales and marketing, this is maps. What is that secure direction? And 98% of the world does not want to be patient. They don't want to wait until they're 50. And it's not about waiting and doing nothing. It's about experimenting and experiencing and letting things bump into you and you bumping into other things. And letting for that projection field to touch you and for you to project out depending on what your roles, your profile is. Being okay knowing that our foundation is very, very insecure. All of these different things, so your whole design plays into this. And patience is huge. I say this so often in all of my videos. You want a quick fix? Go somewhere else. Because this is a process. 1. This is that creative self-direction. Selling creative expression. Artists, art classes, music, dance. What is your creative outlet? Authors. The energy to sustain creative work. The profound need for self-expression. Succeed on the material plane is to be creative. Creative business scientist. The material plane can operate as a reflection of who we are, and who we are as true self, and the shadow embraced as one. So live out the design, the creative experience materially, the demonstration of our uniqueness, the presentation of our uniqueness, inspiring others to be in their own material path. All too often, the artist does not get the recognition that it needs. This is an invited channel, invited gate. And all too often we do not recognize the profound mutation that happens through our artists, through our poets, through our unique expression. Da Vinci is still touching us thousands of years later. Painting the Sistine Chapel, the energy to sustain creative work. Stand in your creativity. Be that creative muse. Those that need you will find you. All too often we see coaches trying to coach people into being exactly like everybody else. That's not what human design does. Be yourself. Bring your creative self-expression to the energy field. The 13 is the selling secrets. Again, another role gate. Pessimism. The belief that what is best can never be achieved. A lack of trust that can only be transformed through concrete evidence. The openness that is conditioned by suspicion and seeks evidence. This satire where rightness is suspicion. Rightness of suspicion can inspire satire. This is a part of my role gate. Pessimism. I'm the martyr. I have pessimism. So when people tell me their stories, when they start to tell me their secrets, I'm like, oh, there's something else in there. There's a pessimism there. They will give me excuses. They will do this. They will do that. And it's like, there's something else in there. So you can't run a business without secrets. Nothing that sells better than secrets. Secrets are worth more than the truth. It inflates its value. Suspicion. So it inflates its value, its suspicion, and it seeks evidence. So you have to dangle those carrots. I will show you the way. Pay me well, and I will give you the secret. This is that secret sauce or that secret spice, that proprietary process. As long as it's a secret, you can inflate its value endlessly. So, on I think it's a History Channel. Not that I watch a whole bunch of TV, but there's a TV show called How They Made It or something like that. Anyways, so they walk into different businesses and they show you how do they do this or how do they do that? How do they make bagels? How do they feed New York in the morning? Different things like that. How does this machine do this? How do they process that? And lots of times there'll be a proprietary process, a secret. They don't want their competitors to know. So this is the secret societies, those Freemasons. I'll give you the 5 secrets to blah, blah, blah. The New Age magazines, the Secret Service, private investigators. There's lots of secrets in the world. And then the pessimism that runs throughout that. There's something in there. There's something in there. right? I'm pessimistic about this, so let's dig deeper. And the 7, again, another roll gate. I apologize I didn't add the roll stuff into the 13. Selling, research, and development. This is going into the future. So the 7's always looking into the future. This is research, development. Money spent on research is something new. The anarchist is the archetype of a leader. The rejection of institutionalized order. The urban renewal, that catchphrase, make the cities human again. This is a business. Tear it down, build a new one. The develop material on a foundation established from before. Always a new look, new and improved. Every 7 years, as Roe would say, you kill the golden calf and you start new and improve it. Look at Las Vegas. Las Vegas has a casino on the strip, and it feels like they were just built. They're brand new. Poof. They're taking them down and they're building whole brand new ones. The rejuvenation of that strip has happened numerous times. So planning for the future, that's really what takes place here. Let's break it down. So when you look at the material plane, look at these keynotes. We have pessimism, we have anarchist, we have martyr. Okay. Go through the whole 64. Well, you're going to have them all here. Go through all 64 of them. That's the material plane. Drug companies, that's what they do. Research and development. Marketing, they research everything and they develop a sales strategy. Strategies are all about getting us into the future. Constant need for change. Always changing, always researching, always developing. So you could create a whole consultancy around this. Going into different companies, research and development. Where are they? What are they doing? What's their plan for the future? What's your strategy to get in front of people? So I would love for you to take some time, take a look at this. If this is a place where you are designed to prosper, where you are designed to attract resources, drop into the wisdom that is here. For me, having it completely open, I make money dabbling in a little bit of all of this. But where my main focus is would be the 10, the 2, and the 46, and the 1. Because I have the 20 pointing to the 10, I have the 34 pointing to the 10, I have the 8 pointing to the 1, I have the 14 pointing to the 2, and I have the 29 pointing to the 46. So be unique. I sell that. I sell that with human design. Proper behavior, how to align with yourself. I sell that. Vision. Let your direction collapse in front of you when you're correct. And the health and wellness of the body, that's what I sell. You're not healthy. The physical body has no ability to be healthy because of incorrect behavior, because of incorrect expression, because of being worried and nervous about the direction. It's very difficult to fulfill your role in this life. So this is a big seller for me. What is it for you? All right, we will play around with this in the coaching, and until next video, thanks.